Right. Hello guys, Josh here and welcome back to another watch along. We return for the FIFA World Cup round 32. Now we're just going to take a look at how it all ended in match day 3 before we look at this game. Of course, last night finished it off in the World Cup. I think I've lost my sheet of predictions. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, I got 26 points with 7 bonus points in this one, which was my best one so far, out of the 48. And I have wrote down all my predictions for this round of games as well, which we will be running through in a moment. But yeah, FIFA World Cup, how it ended on match day 3 from start to finish, and how every single group finished, as well as how the bracket looked before we look into tonight's game. Round 3 kicked off. Bosnia and Herzegovina 3, Qatar 1, Switzerland 2, Canada 1, Morocco 4, Haiti 2, Scotland 0, Brazil 3. Then Czechia 0, Mexico 3, South Africa 1, South Korea 0, Curacao 0, Cote d'Ivoire 2, Ecuador 2, Germany 1. Then Japan 1, Sweden 1, Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3, Paraguay 0, Australia 0, Turkey 3, USA 2, Norway 1, France 4, Senegal 5, Iraq 0. Then yesterday, Cabo Verde 0, Saudi Arabia 0, Uruguay 0, Spain 1, Egypt 1, Iran 1, New Zealand 1, Belgium 5, Croatia 2, Ghana 1, and Panama 0, England 2, and in the early hours of the morning, Colombia 0, Portugal 0, Democratic Republic of Congo 3, Uzbekistan 1, Algeria 3, Austria 3, and Jordan 1, Argentina 3. So how each group looks. Group A, Mexico topped the group with 9 points out of 9 and a positive 6 goal difference, scoring 6, conceding 0, keeping 3 clean sheets out of 3. Second place was actually South Africa. Despite their poor start, they did beat South Korea on match day 3 to get 4 points and a negative 1 goal difference, scoring 2, conceding 3. And with the identical goals for and against, as well as goal difference for South Korea, however, they only had 3 points with just the win on the first game, negative 1 goal difference, 2 goals scored, 3 conceded. And bottom was Czechia with a single point and a negative 4 goal differential. In Group B, top of the group was Switzerland with 7 points and a positive 4 goal difference. Second place was Canada with 4 points and a positive 5 goal differential. Third was Bosnia and Herzegovina with 4 points and a negative 1 goal differential. And Qatar rock bottom with 1 point and a negative 8 goal differential. Group C, Brazil topped it with 7 points and a positive 6 goal difference. And Morocco came second on the same amount of points with a positive 3 goal difference. Third was Scotland with a 3 points and negative 3 goal difference. And fourth was Haiti, no points and minus 6 goal difference. In Group D, USA top with 6 points, plus 4 goal difference. Australia second with 4 points and a 0 goal difference. Paraguay third with 4 points and a negative 2 goal difference. And fourth was Turkey with 3 points and a negative 2 goal difference. Group E, Germany top with 6 points and a 6 goal difference. Cote d'Ivoire second with 6 points and a 2 goal difference. Third was Ecuador with 4 points and a 0 goal difference. And bottom was Curacao with a point and minus 8 in the goal difference. Group Netherlands top with 7 points, Japan with 5, Sweden with 4, and Tunisia with 0, conceding 12 goals to their 2 scores. In Group G, Belgium top with 5 and a positive 4, Egypt second with 5 and a positive 2, third place with Iran with 0 points. Their last minute winner against Egypt on the final game was ruled out. And then, of course, Austria v Algeria ended in a 3-3 draw, which means they dropped out of the best third place side, and New Zealand rock bottom with 1 point. Group H, Spain go through to 7, Cabo Verde go through with 3 points, Uruguay miss out on 2 points in third place, and Saudi Arabia on 2 in bottom. Group I, France top with 9, Norway 6, Senegal 3, Iraq 0. Group J, Argentina 9, Austria 4, Algeria 4, Jordan 0. Group K, Colombia 7, Portugal 5, Democratic Republic of Congo 4, and Uzbekistan 0. And Group L, England 7, Croatia 6, Ghana 4, Panama 0. And the third place sides that went through, DR Congo top Sweden, Ecuador, Ghana, Bosnia, Algeria, Paraguay, and Senegal. And the 4 that missed out in order was Iran, South Korea, Scotland, and Uruguay. And how they missed out: Iran missed out by 2 goals, South Korea missed out by 3 goals, Scotland missed out by 5 goals, and Uruguay missed out by a point. They finished bottom with just 2 points, and that was really bad for them. So how the bracket looks: on the left side of the bracket, we have Germany versus Paraguay, France versus Sweden, South Africa versus Canada, Netherlands versus Morocco, Portugal versus Croatia, Spain versus Austria, United States of America versus Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Belgium versus Senegal. And on the right-hand side, it's Brazil versus Japan, Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway, Mexico versus Ecuador, England versus the Democratic Republic of Congo, Argentina versus Cabo Verde, Austria versus Egypt, Switzerland versus Algeria, and the last game, Colombia versus Ghana. So based on best rankings, of course, there could be upsets. How it will look in the round of 16: Germany versus France, Canada versus Morocco, Portugal versus Spain, and United States of America versus Belgium. And on the other side, Brazil versus Norway, Mexico versus England, Argentina versus probably Egypt, but could be Australia, and then Switzerland versus Colombia. But anything could happen. But yeah, very unfortunate. Cabo Verde getting out of their group and being drawn up against Argentina in the round of 32. They'll be playing at 11 p.m. UK time on Friday, 3rd of July in Miami. So my round of 32 predictions, I'm going to rattle it off as per the bracket. So I've gone in order of the bracket. Here we go. Germany 4, Paraguay 1, France 2, Sweden 0. But I'm actually going to change that to 3-0, I reckon. Do you know what? 3-1. South Africa 1, Canada 2. That's what I think is going to happen today. I think Canada will progress. Netherlands will beat Morocco 2-1. I think Portugal will beat Croatia 1-0, but I think it'll happen after extra time. I predicted Spain to beat Austria 2-1. USA to beat Bosnia 2-0. Senegal, I think, will beat Belgium 2-1. I think Brazil will beat Japan 2-1. And I'm going to say that will go to extra time as well. I think Norway will easily dispose of Cote d'Ivoire 3-1. I think Mexico will beat Ecuador 2-0. And I think England will do the same to Democratic Republic of Congo. But I can easily see it being 0-0 for most of the game, then a late winner. I think Argentina will beat Cabo Verde 2-1 after extra time. I think Cabo Verde could really sit back. I think Austria will beat Egypt 2-1, but as I said, could go the other way. I think Switzerland will beat Algeria 2-1, and I think Colombia will beat Ghana 1-0. But I think that one could go to extra time. So I don't think there'll be extra time tonight, but there could be. So that's my predictions for the round of 32. And yeah, if we look at that, mine will be, Germany versus France, Canada versus Netherlands, Portugal versus Spain, USA versus Senegal, Brazil versus Norway, Mexico versus England, Argentina versus Austria, and Switzerland versus Colombia. But we'll see what happens. Let's talk today's game. Of course, it's South Africa versus Canada, and Canada become the first ever host, of course, co-host in this, to play a World Cup game outside of their country, of course. Should they have topped the group, they would have stayed and played at the BC Place in Vancouver, and they would have taken on Algeria. But because Switzerland topped the group and they came second, it means Canada has to travel below the border to Los Angeles Stadium. Now, of course, their opponents, Bafana Bafana, did play their games in Monterrey, Mexico, so they're traveling above the border, both meeting Mimi halfway in Los Angeles. So yeah, South Africa, Bafana Bafana won with just 31.5% possession against South Korea, which is their lowest in any World Cup match. Hugo Broos has hinted that this may be his last campaign of his career. What?
Yeah.
And they only scored 2 goals in the 3 group matches, but they kept a clean sheet in the last game to win. Canada, of course, lost to Switzerland on match day 3, which all they needed was a draw to top the group to stay within Vancouver. Canada scored 6 in a thrashing over Qatar, but only managed 1 goal in their other 2 games against Switzerland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Alphonso Davies does return after missing all 3 group games following an injury, and he has 15 goals in his 58 caps, and he scored Canada's first ever World Cup goal back in World Cup 2022. And of course, this is their first time in the knockout stages after getting 0 points out of 9 in the last campaign in 2022. How we're looking for lineups. For South Africa, they're going for a 4-2-3-1. Starting goal is Captain Williams, a back four in left to right format. Modiba left back, Nobakazi and Okon are the two centre backs, with Mudao as the right back. The two central defensive midfielders, Sito, who had a bad first game but brought it back for himself, and Mokoena. In midfield, it's Apolis on the left, Mofo Kang in midfield, and Maseko on the right, and the striker, Magopa. On the bench will be Goss, Chain, Cross, Sebelele, Medame, Sibisi, Makane, Kabini, Mataludi, Adams, Mabatha, Reines, Foster, and Moremi, and Zwame is out through his red cards. And for Canada, it's a 4-4-2 with Krepel in goal. Left back's Larea, right back's Johnston, with Bombito and Cornelius as the two centre backs. Left midfield is Millar, right midfield is Buchanan, with Saliba and Captain Eustachio, the two central midfielders. And up top is Jonathan David Jr. by Olosai. On the bench for Canada, it's Sinclair, Goodman, Jones, Alfonso Davies, Waterman, Defugaro, Sigur, Osorio, Shonir, Ahmed, Kai Larim, Schaffelberg, Nelson, and Promise David, with Ishmael Kone, of course, getting that broken ankle in the game versus Qatar, and he is out. So yeah, form going into this game in the groups. For Canada, it was a draw versus Bosnia and Herzegovina 1-1, a 6-0 thumping over Qatar, and a 2-1 defeat to Switzerland, meaning they scored 8 goals, conceding 3, giving them a +5 goal difference. As for South Africa, it was a 2-0 loss in the first game to Mexico, a 1-1 draw with Czechia in the second game, and a 1-0 shock win over South Korea in the third game, meaning they scored 2, conceded 3, with a -1 goal differential. Coming up in the other games tomorrow, 6 p.m, Brazil take on Japan, and tomorrow at 9:30 p.m, Germany take on Paraguay. And then the following morning at 2 a.m, Netherlands take on Morocco. Tuesday night at 6 p.m, Ivory Coast take on Norway, and at 10 p.m, France take on Sweden. And on Wednesday early hours at 2 a.m, Mexico take on Ecuador. Then 5 p.m, it's the big one, England take on Democratic Republic of Congo, which I'll be missing, unfortunately, due to external circumstances. And on the same day at 9 p.m, Belgium will take on Senegal. Then on Thursday at 1 a.m, USA take on Bosnia and Herzegovina, 8 p.m, Spain versus Austria, and midnight on the Friday, Portugal take on Croatia. 4 a.m. on the Friday, Switzerland v Algeria. 7 p.m, Australia v Egypt. 11 p.m, Argentina versus Cabo Verde, with the round of 32 closing out at 2:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, with Colombia versus Ghana. This game kicks off at 8 p.m. UK time at the Los Angeles Stadium. My score prediction, as I said, I think Canada will be victorious 2-1. I don't think Bafana have been strong. Of course, they did get that shock victory against South Korea to knock South Korea out in match day 3. But I don't think they're strong enough to beat Canada, who I hope for the first time in their history will make it to the round of 16. So I say it will be Canada 2-1 over South Africa. I think South Africa will hit first, but I think Jonathan David and, I'm going to say both strikers, Olowasai and Jonathan David will score in the 2 goals. But I do think it will be a comeback victory for Canada. Let me know what you think down there in the live chat. Of course, this is our first round of 32 game. So let me tell you which ones will be streamed over the next couple of days. We've got this one. Tomorrow we'll be streaming the Brazil v Japan game from about 5:45 p.m. Then on Tuesday, we'll be streaming at the same time, 5:45 p.m, Ivory Coast v Norway. And then at 9:45 p.m, France versus Sweden. So we'll have 2 watch-alongs in around the 32 on Tuesday. Wednesday, we won't be watching the England game, unfortunately, but we will be watching the 9 p.m. game between Belgium and Senegal. On the Thursday, we won't be watching a game, unfortunately. Friday, we won't be watching a game. But on the Saturday morning, we may, I'm keeping it open, we may watch the Colombia versus Ghana game on the 4th of July at 2:30 a.m. But all depends. All depends. Anyway, I'll see you in a few moments when the teams come out for first half. Be right back. The teams are coming out now, so we will come back quicker than I thought. I didn't think they'd be out so soon. So yeah, South Africa, a bit shocking that they are here, but that's the luck of the draw, isn't it? So yeah, currently ranked 60th in the world, South Africa become the joint third lowest FIFA ranked side to play in the knockout stages, behind Nigeria, who were FIFA ranked 74th in 1998, and Russia, who were FIFA ranked 70th in 2018, and level with Japan, who were FIFA ranked 61st in 2018. Contrastingly, Canada's ascent of the rankings has been remarkable, climbing 24 places from 50th to 26th between February 2024 and September 2025. They now sit 30th on the table. They've cemented themselves as a respected force on the global stage under Jesse Marsch's control. So yeah, Marsch makes 4 changes from the defeat to Switzerland, which cost Canada's top spot in Group B. Bombita replaces De Fougerols in central defence, while captain Eustachio is reinstated from the start in central midfield, with Chouameni dropping to the bench. Miller replaces Ahmed on the left of midfield, and Oluwaseyi is called in to partner David up front in place of Larin, who was a hero against Bosnia, scoring that 78th minute equaliser. As for South Africa, Bruce has made just a single change to the starting 11 that beat South Korea 1-0, and that's Mokoena, who scored against Czechia on match day 2, comes back into the side in midfield at the expense of Mabasa after serving a 1-match suspension. At an average age of 26 years and 186 days old, this is the youngest starting 11 named by an African team in the FIFA World Cup knockout match since Algeria versus Germany in 2014, which was 26 years and 72 days. So yeah, it's 2 runners-up taking on each other, which normally doesn't happen. It's Group A runners-up versus Group B runners-up. Normally it's A winners, B runners. So it's 1A, 2B, 1B, 2A, but has apparently not this time. After both sides nudged their way through the initial phase to reach what is both nations' first ever World Cup knockout appearance. Following an open day defeat to Mexico, which saw 2 red cards and truly Calamacious defending, Bafana have eased their way into the tournament nicely with a 1-1 draw against Czechia and a sensational 1-0 win over South Korea in the final group game, delivered by Fabio Maseko's clinical 63rd minute strike. They form part of a historic 9 African teams that have progressed from the groups, the most ever at the World Cup. At 74 years old, Hugo Broos will become the oldest ever manager to take charge of a World Cup knockout game. Jesse Marsch's Canada, meanwhile, had already secured qualification ahead of their defeat to Switzerland in the final group game, thanks to a well-earned draw against Bosnia, which was followed by a thumping victory over 2022 host Qatar. It's a moment of real promise for the nation ranked 30th in the world, who've gone on a steady rise over the last couple of years with this talented squad. Canadian hitman Jonathan David bagged a hat-trick against Qatar, while captain Steven Eustachio has been among the most impressive midfielders on display so far. The intrigue surrounding their fitness of the world-class talisman Alphonso Davies continues. However, with a Bangladesh fullback available for the final 2 group games but not playing a single minute as he recovers from a hamstring injury suffered in the Champions League semi-final in May. He could well be key to his country's progression today, but certainly be needing more in the round of 16 should they qualify, with the victor facing the intimidating prospect of either Netherlands or Morocco in Houston on July 4th. Opta's win predictor gives the Canadians a 56% chance of victory, but Bafana have already shown they're capable of ripping up the script. We'll see what happens with kickoff in just 4 minutes 45. Let's get ready to rock and roll. On FOTMob, there's been 393,000 votes, 60% Canada win, 23% South Africa win, 17% think it will be a draw after 90 minutes, because remember, if it's a draw after 90 minutes, what happens? What happens? What happens? Man, what happens?
We play again.
What again? A whole nother match?
No, they do extra time.
Yeah, they do another 30 minutes. and potentially penalty. So this game could go on for how long? If it's an extra 30 minutes plus, say, 5 minutes between the two. And what, an extra 45 minutes? Well, it's about 5 minutes between full time and start of extra time. And then it's 30 minutes. So it could either add 30 minutes or about 50 minutes to the game. So a game goes from 2 hours to 3 hours with extra time and penalties.
Bad news. Your business is only using a fraction of its data. But the rest, it's all around you. And everyone's searching for it. Untapped opportunity everywhere. Sure, you can look for it all over the place. Or you can find it in one place. HubSpot, where data that's buried in emails, call logs, and meeting notes become insights that help you grow. All the data makes all the difference.
Delivering?
Ooh, nice thing. Wait, someone say five. McDonald's and football, honey, bring it on.
Like three cats. She went with a cheeky tapping. You love to see it.
Welcome back. Here we are in this stunning work of art in Los Angeles. Half an hour's drive from the venue that Carlos Mascot.
Our referee is from Portugal, João Pinheiro, joined by Bruno Jesus and Luciano Maya. And the UAE, Omar Al-Ali and Mohammed Al-Hamadi join in like helping out fourth officials. Who's this guy? And in the VAR room, it's Spanish Carlos de Guerrero Grande, Brazilian Rodolfo Toschi, and with no seat, the Argentine Master Malo. Man. So yeah, we'll go through the lineups one more time. Here we go. You ready? Sit down, be ready, people. Good. South Africa goalkeeper is Captain Williams. Backline, Modiba, Mobokazi, Ocon, and Mudau are the back four. Two central defender midfielders, Mokoena and Sito, who did, of course, perform very shittily in the first game. Three midfield, left to right, Apolis, Mofo Koena, and Maseko on the right, and Mac Gopo at striker on 4-2-3-1. And Swane unavailable through a red card. As for Canada, in goal is Maxime Crepeau, back four, Larve, Cornelius, Bombito, and Alistair Johnston. Left to right. Then left to right in midfield, it's Liam Miller, Captain Stephen Eustaquio, Nathan Saliba, and Shajon Buchanan. On the right, the two strikers, it's Tani Oluwaseyi, and on the right is Jonathan David. 4 changes for Canada from last game, 1 change for South Africa from last game. And Ishmael Kone, unavailable due to injury. Come on, Canada. 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 No.
However, South Africa gets better and better each game. It's a terrific performance against South Korea. And this is probably Hugo Bro's best, strongest 11 he's picked in the tournament so far in terms of players available. So South Africa will be a problem for Canada.
Always emotional, Jesse Welsh. These are two sides who've made their own World Cup history this summer. From Johannesburg to Cape Town, Toronto to Vancouver, two vast nations with a great sporting culture. And they've been out captivating a new audience like never before as they get to go one step further at the World Cup.
2, 1, and we're underway, and it's live. Here we go. Round of 32 kicks off with Canada in black, I think. South Africa in their yellowy greeny one. So, round of 16 game. I think Canada go back to their hometown. If not, then you can't really call them a host. That's why like, yes, Mexico and Canada are co-hosts alongside the United States of America, but every single quarterfinal, semi-final, bronze final, final is in America. All that happens in Mexico and Canada is the group stages, round of 32, and some round of 16s. Everything past that happens in USA. So, yeah, because, and then their round of 16 game, should they win tonight, will be played in Houston against the winner of Netherlands versus Morocco. And then if they win that, obviously, very unlikely, but if they do, then their semi-final game will be played in Boston. So if Canada do go on a run, which they could, don't get me wrong, they're not going to play in their home country again. How crazy is that? No foul play on. Could be dangerous. Here go Canada. Get out wide. It is out wide. Ref's playing advantage. He is quick, and he is still got the ball. He needs a bit of support. Wants to get a cross off. Can't get a cross off. Maybe took too long. And in the end, it's good defending, but it does come straight back to Canada here. Left-hand side goes out to, don't know. And it's gone out. Good challenge, and it's going to be a throw-in for South Africa. Really good stuff. So yeah, their road now is Los Angeles, Houston, Boston, New York. New York. And I take you need So yeah, this round of 32 is out of 32 points. Of course, I get a point for the correct direction. Of course, if I say it's going to be a win to Canada, and it is, I get a point. Or if it's a draw and I say it's a draw, then that's the correct direction. And correct goal difference, it doesn't have to be goal difference in the correct direction. So if I predict a 2-1 win for Canada, but it ends 2-1 the other way, I still get a point in the correct goal difference. And a bonus point if I get it absolutely bang. It's Johnston. No, Buchanan. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the foul, that one. He's in behind it. He's in behind. He's taking a bit too long, but he does need a tad of support. He's got it in the middle. Bafana, can they score? Bafana, strike! Save. And it's away by Canada. And down the other end, maybe Jonathan David will battle it. But, oh, and it's given away. Foul. Shirley, Southampton. Foul. And a miss. Judge on 2. Ball out on this left-hand side. Gets a cross in. No one on the end of it. You stay Creo. Can't keep it though. Hit maybe a bit too early by the captain. Yeah, it didn't start in the loss, the 2-1 loss to Switzerland. You stay Creo. He actually came off the bench later in the second half. Don't know why he wasn't picked. Maybe it's due to a slight injury or a slight knock he had, where he wasn't fit enough to play in the time 90 minutes. I don't know, because he is Canadia's captain. Ball up by Crepeau. Cannon. Canada do win it. And a goal kick is given there.
So well so far. The only one to bow out after the first phase was Tunisia. Coach, their opening game against Sweden. Big surprise, happy to do Cape Verde. Wonderful football later in the week.
In the middle. David's made a good run, but he can't be found. It goes out left. Really good, Araya. Corner it's going to be first of the game. And that was really positive. Really positive from Canada. Really significant run down the left-hand side by Araya. Yeah, really good block and everything and all sorts. Who? Ball in. Headed on. No one's on the end of it. It's gone a bit too far on that corner, and Canada can clear that, but not too far. Under a bit of pressure here, and it's going to get called a free kick for Canada. A bit too much pressure, and for Canada back. Giovanni Infantino, of course, doesn't need to be in 2 places at once today, as this is the only game of the day. The next game doesn't take place until 6 p.m. UK tomorrow, which, of course, even in America is tomorrow and not, the same day for them. I think it's, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., something like that. It's very weird not to see an early hours kickoff. And South Africa, that's a poor one. And Crepeau can pick it up easily. 10 minutes gone. South Africa 0, Canada 0. Can he get there? He might be able to. Foul, surely. No, he did get the ball. Right, let him off. I'll let him off.
Still hands and Buzzawani. Sending the third back to the 3-game suspension.
Oh, his name's Sitole, isn't it? Not Sito. Or Shito, as I called him in my opening game versus Mexico. Gave away an error to the first goal, and then a red card later in the same game. But he came back and performed really well in the last two games, especially that 1-0 win over South Korea.
We're not doing it now,
Running down this side now. Needs support. Got support. David, heavy touch. Larea, pushed the man. South Africa, they're going to get a free kick in their own half. Really good ball. Waiting for support. He's got support. Oh, that's good. Can they get it to him? He's still got it. Too much. Oh, and that is a wide gap. Miller came back well to defend that one. Really good challenge to stop that. Really good overlapping ball onto the left-hand side. It was 1 against 1, and the defending won the challenge. It's going to be a second corner for Canada.
Coast. 2 games to Mexico in the group stage, and they West Atlanta in the deep south. So it's up on their fans to follow their team. And not that many, must be said, here in Los Angeles today. There are a few empty seats around this huge stadium. First 3 lockdown games here. We've got 2 in the round of 32. The other one, pretty classic game too, between Spain and Austria. Maybe a quarterfinal issue between Spain and the USA if things pan out that way.
Canada have definitely been dominating so far this game. Loads of run, really good ball. Can he get there? He can get there. Jonathan David. Foul! Sitole took his time. The Canadian man came across. Yeah, really. Left David with loads of run there to think about what he wanted to do.
in the end, but it was like not marked.
He scored that momentous hat-trick in the win against Qatar.
Oh, it is a corner.
The World Cup so far. Messi and Dembele, so some company. There, number 10. Swinging corner.
Just wide. Just wide by Jonathan David it was. Really not much movement, and yeah, maybe should have done better from that much distance.
Several years, but not happened yet. For the US in New York, also in Ottawa. Last summer.
Now South Africa play those two central fielders in the back four. Play one in front and one behind, rather than right and left. Just leave space either side so that the ball has been dropped into that space. Be aware of that. Lose possession, South Africa.
And South Africa can sort that out defensively.
World Cup vote. The semi-finals of the Copa America in the USA 2 years ago. The Gold Cup last summer. Over those tournaments on poses. All the way.
You stuck Rio. Out left. Good one too.
Discontent with the neutrals who were in this venue. There have been plenty of those for the games when we've been here. Huge number of Mexican fans who come to the matches in LA. It's not too far away from here. Half a chance that Mexico will be playing in this game, but they were the Group A winners and they will take on Ecuador and Azteca. Mexico City, the day side.
Yeah, that's because some positions without creating high quality chances. South Africa just want to get on the edge of the box for a two touch. Canada to get the bodies forward. Anything clear cut yet.
They scored 8 goals in the group stage, Canada. Huge improvements on their previous couple of World Cup appearances. Years ago in Qatar, they went out in the group stage, scoring just once. First World Cup then 40 years ago. They scored a single goal in that tournament in Mexico. Prosecco. Snap again. Was the rail. Although Shea, he was held there from behind the referee, just waiting, but no penalty was forthcoming, so it's a free kick.
You know, I know that's Jessica Alba. The kids.
I have absolutely no idea. So Hollywood stars are in town. Hollywood Hills actually only 2 miles away. You can squeeze off to our net. That's what you just about see that famous Hollywood sign out there on the horizon. So it's a big game in LA with the group stage games and town game today. Some place to visit. This complex was Hollywood Park. Stepping over the free kick. Sets for Cornelius. On the back straight down. And that was a free header for Derek Cornelius.
They were lining up here. Couldn't get something on that. Goalkeeper's thinking he's going to be picking this out of the back of his net. It's tame in the end, isn't it, for Cornelius?
And it was the second for South Africa. Up against Cornelius was Bradley Bentley. Set back with a Quader. Flying block from Eusebio. Those wide players. The second with Apolis. So dangerous for South Africa. By Madiba.
The Falcon was causing problems by dropping and receiving, but they just adjusted a little to try and keep an eye on him. Mustafio's done that. Just having a look at him now. Trying to stop the ball into Falcon.
Jason Marshall always wants to see the play at high tempo. This first half by Jason Ray. Chance for some runs and construction from him. And Booms rebounds around the stadium, which has been a feature of these most recent breaks over the course of the World Cup so far. But don't forget, you will have the chance to win £75,000. A trip to suit in New York to watch the FIFA World Cup final on the 19th of July. Single entry by text or online costs £2.50 plus your Sarawak message text. Entries close at 10 a.m. on Monday, 6th of July. Post closes start noon on the 9th of July. Entrance must be 21 or over. Visit the website or scan the QR code for full entry details.
Is there anything you would like? John?
This World Cup. So the sprint starts at New Jersey.
No. She's asked me if there's anything you would like. I mean, there's been lots of action, which I say now. You want to see, I mean, this is the second of a couple of seconds.
Who is that?
Not really.
I read that. Yeah, good chance. Straight at the keeper though. Maybe a chance wasted.
This season on loan from Marseille. He's supposed to campaign due to an hamstring issue.
24 minutes gone. RSA nil. Can nil. And it's that first. Gratian break. Brazil versus Japan tomorrow from 6 p.m. on ITV1 and STV. FIFA World Cup 2026.
Brazil aim for their sixth world title this summer. Followed later night by the Dutch against Morocco. So 2 great games across them there. And Tuesday, 3 tasty
France versus Senegal.
It's going to 9:15. And Lisa and I can't wait to head to Mexico City. Mexico against Ecuador. I hope you will join us too. Football going your way. Starting with his first ever round of play-2 game in Los Angeles. Jesse Marsh can be a divisive figure at times. Some who felt he got a bit overexcited in the group stage in that big win against Qatar. The celebration for these right again.
First win. gonna celebrate, surely. And I know they had red cards. Qatar. And he will tell his team, I mean, South Africa take risks in their defensive third. That's the way that Canada can get on top of this game. High turnovers. However, not stopping them getting on the pitch. And South Africa did make more and more from there in their final third as well. One or two touches were effective, but just a little bit more in the final third for both.
The World Cup, when can you?
Back underway.
Notable so far last year, how much possession which has been awarded to South Africa. First couple of games they played largely without the ball. They were very effective on the breakaway. In that situation, that's very much surprised when that game to back to the stage. Fourth World Cup,
And straight in the keeper.
16 years ago. Voodoo Sailors and Lampard's goal that never was. Ghana's never got run to a quarter final.
That's a good example of a chance for South Africa to get on the pitch.
Possession at the moment is South Africa domination, 53%. Canada 40%, 7% in contact. Been a cagey game so far. Good chances from both sides. I think Canada's been better in their offensive third, and South Africa have been a bit shambolic in their defensive third. So yeah, good ball and covered well by South Africa and hoofed away. Not too far though, only far as Cornelius. Pretty even Stevens at the moment. Oops. Even Stevens. He's on this right hand side. There's one back by South Africa just near the halfway line. But he's worried, been worried there by Saliba. South Africa get out of it. Player is still down here. And goes straight to Crepeau due to it being a bit too much of a through ball for the attacker to get on the end of. Down the other end, can't get to it. But Canada might if South Africa mess up. South Africa don't, and they've now got space to run with it. He needs support though, and he hasn't got it at the moment. Can he find the support he needs? Comes back, and it's back with the defensive line.
South Africa work out when to play forward quickly and when to just chill and build a little bit slower. They're going to crack it. I think just a little bit erratic in the decisions of when to play forward, when to just keep hold of it.
Rose, their veteran coach, said before the game that he feels there are witnesses there to restore to the Canadian team. Game of chess in many ways, but there's gaps to open up to exploit them.
There's a lot of neutrals in here. See the ball in play.
Gaspas has been seen in previous match this season at this point. Movement there by Morgan. Modiba.
Comes inside, deflected, but South Africa still have it. Ball in, too close to Crepeau, who can easily catch that. The French-Canadian man. In all blue, and here's the half-hour mark. South Africa 0, Canada 0. A bit problematic at the back there for Canada, but they do survive. Good ball. Throw in here for Canada.
Playoff final. Have to start again. As it was the opening match of this tournament. Canada World Cup.
He came on last game and did very well. Still not playing too well, so he's had his spot this afternoon.
Casey, Alfonso Davies, who comes on the beach later in the day. Back at club level, the five unit, but not the play next week for Canada.
Yeah, he's an odd one, Alfonso Davies. Of course, left back at club, left back or left wing at country. He is relied on as quite an attacking player for Canada, as they do struggle sometimes in the final third. As they are proven at the moment. So the defender at the moment, Canada playing it safe in their defensive thirds. It's been very evenly matched at the moment. South Africa are holding on quite well. And as far as it goes, I think this could be 0-0 after 90. But he slipped. They do hang on to it here. The pass is a bit too far back for Stephen. And Saliba tries to find a ball out on the left-hand side there and struggles. It is cut out well by the defender. And South Africa win it back. It's with the man wearing all pink, the Captain Williams of South Africa in twin sticks. Booga. Oh, that not say that actually. Something was funny. I can't remember when it was. There was someone, I can't remember who told me and who it was, but they said, so everyone in Africa lives in mud houses, don't they? Someone said that. I think it was Ryan told me someone said it. Or asked him. Even in the ball in. Good. Cut out really well there. And it is going to be a goal kick. Well, I've got like 4,000 on my phone, though.
Yeah, not even 10,000. I mean, what I've done really consider it. Considering I'm going to be somewhere, I think that's pretty good. Either way.
Very snatchy, much beyond his 74th birthday, the oldest coach in the World Cup this summer. The oldest coach to take charge in the World Cup, not in the game. At the end of the 5 years since the charge.
4178 at my phone day. Watch day.
Yeah. So 9578.
South Africa are being pushed back to their defensive third now. Can Canada push them to making a mistake and for Canada to find an opener? Of course, Canada against Bosnia and Switzerland struggled and only scored one goal in a 2-1 loss and a 1-1 draw, respectively. Across, they're in the box now. Oliver Say straight into the hands of Williams. It was a high strike. Maybe he should have crossed it in. I don't know, but Williams, who is the skipper, I always say a captain shouldn't be the goalkeeper. It should be a midfielder or a CDM/centre-back. I don't ever think the goalkeeper should be the captain. This is really good for South Africa here. He slipped in the box, but he's all right. Still hanging on to it. He needs a pass, and he ain't got anything. And it is going to be the first corner for South Africa that I've seen anyway. I don't know if it's the first of the game. South Africa with the corner. But yeah, he slipped in quite a poor time to slip. But that was end-to-end there. Really good from both sides inside the first 35 minutes. And we're going to have a South Africa corner here. Can South Africa score to put Canada behind? 10 minutes before the break. Whipped in. It does find a South Africa head. And headed on, but it can't be kept in. And it is going to be a Canada goal kick come 35-18. In Los Angeles. And Creflo goes short. So you're taking what? Handbag and those 2 bags, yeah?
Take it million bags.
Handbag and 2 bags.
Yeah.
I'll have that in the backpack.
And then the rest of the couple of other bits I need to take and go in there. And the toothbrush, I mean.
Yeah, it can go to
Probably the strongest
Yeah.
one that I have. Canada,
what I mean.
well, by just
Yeah.
understands that it's play this way, full of energy.
If we're ready, which we probably will be, we could get the one in front, the bus in front. The 822.
Yeah.
Just so it's not a tight change into the swing, grab something to eat. And then and maybe even get an earlier train. Like the one in front, the one at like 10:40, whatever it is. Then we're not rushing out because we will get this one at 9:30, which will give us an hour and 20 to just chill out instead of 10 minutes. Because obviously, if we're late on the bus, then we're a bit screwed. Then you know what I mean? So like we're ready, which we will be. About Animus, Joe Trumpo. It's going to be a Canada free kick here. I'm surprised there's not been a goal. Actually, there's been chances. There's been a lot of action so far, and yeah, and there's just been no goals. It's Spain, Cabo Verde all over again. If you catch my drift, it's even South Africa, South Korea all over again. Of course, that was 0-0 until the goal came by South Africa, which was the only goal of the game. South Africa applying some pressure here. Going to have to go back to the keeper, Canada. Crepo. DoorDash. We don't have DoorDash. That's American. I think our one is Just Eat and their DoorDash, and then we both have delivery and Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Do they have delivery? I think so. But yeah, DoorDash is there Just Eat. South Africa will hold this. It's a high press. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, mate. Why don't you put it on there?
So it's in
Yeah,
there.
you put it on there. Someone wants to be ahead by the break here, really. Oh, that's a poor pass. Bit of tiki-taka going on at the moment by South Africa down this left-hand side. Here they come. They've got space to run in. They keep doing this. They keep turning away. Yeah, try to back heel, but Buchanan cuts it out. Oh, foul that. Should have played advantage, but Saliba is still down there. Yeah, they can just go in my back. And it is going to be a Canada free kick inside their own half. But yeah, so far so good. South Africa 0, Canada 0 after 40 minutes of action. I reckon at half-time, well, before half-time, I think there'll be 3 minutes added on at the end of this first half, simply for the hydration break, which was the same in the England-Panama game last night. And that's the minimum that can be added on, 3 minutes, due to the hydration break being 3 minutes. Must say, compared to 4 years ago, Canada have looked much better, especially in their first ever knockout stage game. But South Africa, it's their first ever knockout stage game, and it is history. Of course, 9 African sides have qualified for the knockout stages, all but 1 in the group stages. Tunisia being the only 1 out of the 10. That's going to be a foul, surely. Yeah, Tunisia being the only 1 out of 10 not to get out of the group. Of course, you got Morocco, South Africa, Ghana as the big names. But any of them African sides can produce something. So we shall see what happens when it happens. Yeah, it's going to be it's a dangerous area. Don't get me wrong. It's in that final third for Canada, but it is a very tight angle. Stephen Eustaquio is the sole man stood over this. and it's a sole South African wall. Let's see what happens with this. It's going to basically be, in essence, a closer corner. Stephen Eustaquio, right arm goes up, ball in, headed on. No, and over. And a goal kick for South Africa, who survived that one after the header can't be kept on target. I thought that was actually South Africa head that got to it, but it was Oliver Sayi that got to it. But yeah, I don't think anything major's happened in this first half and any more than 3 or 4 minutes. As I've said, 3 minutes is the absolute minimum. So 41 minutes 19, South Africa 0, Canada 0 in this opening round of 32 game. And of course, both times debut in the knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup. And of course, one of these sides will get through to the round of 16, and maybe one of these sides will get through to that quarter-final game should they beat Netherlands or Morocco on July 4th in Houston. Collision has left Cornelius down. Referee has said no foul and play on. The ball is in the hands of Treko after it went over both the two South African attackers and Cornelius, who was caught by the South African man as he went down. Canada do have it here. Oliver Sayi heads it back. Eustaquio, bit too far, but it does go out left for Canada. And he's continued his run. Jonathan David and Oliver Sayi are up there now. Eustaquio is offering support in the middle. Match momentum, it's been really, really mixed so far. Eustaquio chases for it, but he don't need to. Heavy touch, but they hold on to it. What a ball, have a strike. Yeah, he popped it on for Oliver Sayi, who couldn't quite get to it. And it's nabbed away by the South African defenders. Oh, it's Jonathan David, sorry, not Oliver Sayi. That's a really, really good chance going missing for Canada. That should have been 1-0 maybe. Yeah, really good from Johnston. Just not close enough to Jonathan David. And Eustaquio will have a corner for Canada just 2 minutes before this half time. Canada, 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 Canada. Canada, 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 ball in, Stephen Eustaquio on this. In there, headed on. Off the line! Gotta be! Triple block and save, and South Africa survive. How have they done that then, basically? Wow. How have they survived that? Yes, off the line. It goes under the keeper. The man's on the line. Then it's a strike straight to the keeper. And the follow-up is away. Wow. It was number 6 off the line. Modiba. That's really good from Modiba. And then, of course, he gets large. But the header is by number 15. And yeah, Bombito. That's a really good corner. But even better defending, especially by Captain Williams there. Does very well to block the second shot and then the third follow-up shot. Really good from South Africa to survive that. But a really good corner routine by Canada there. And maybe against someone else, that would have been 1-0. But South Africa have been all right in their defensive third, especially in this game. And Canada will have another charge upfield. They've got loads of space at the moment. Up on this left-hand side. Get an early ball in, maybe. Cuts inside. On the overlap. Oliver Sayi taken out. Penalty, surely. No. No ball was got there. VAR, surely. Oliver Sayi, not even Oliver Sayi, I don't think. Yeah, that's penalty every day of the week. That's clear cut. He's completely missed the ball and he's just hacked at the ankle of number 22. Is that Oliver Sayi? No, that. No, he didn't get the ball. He didn't get the ball. That's penalty. Penalty is close, but it's penalty. He didn't quite get the ball.
It's late to shoot.
No, definitely he didn't get the ball there. That's a penalty.
Well, that's the thing.
That's Larea. Larea's number 22. No, that's a penalty every day of the week. That's a penalty, surely, mate. Surely, Southampton. That's a penalty. Yes, penalty. It's got to be. He didn't get enough of the ball to say it wasn't a penalty. That's a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity denied, so I say red card as well. Red card and a penalty. That'd be red card number 9. It won't be a red card. They are checking at the moment. VAR. Referee gave a goal kick. I think it should have been a corner. Yeah. And it's been called off. Wow. That should be a penalty. Yeah, that should be a penalty, that one. That should be a penalty, that one. That's just not on at all. We haven't actually been told how many minutes have been added on. And we've entered the 47th minute of action.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a defender, you put your foot in the way and you got kicked. It's happened a few times. Some being given, some not.
I think that penalty should have been given. And that could be the difference between Canada winning and it going to extra time or penalties. Really unfortunate. And it is just the standard minimum 3 minutes added on. So we've got about 50 seconds after this first half, and the Canadian fans are making their opinions clear. They're not happy with that decision, and they should be unhappy with that decision. That is clearly every day of the week and twice on a Sunday a penalty. Olusei. That's a penalty, that one. No. And it's cleared. Canada do get it back, dangerous area. But that one's a foul. Oh my golly. Just not on if you ask me. We've hit 48 minutes. Yeah, wasn't even told to go to the monitor. Half time. It ends. Well, not ends, but the first half ends. South Africa 0, Canada 0. Furious. Canada should have had a penalty in that 47th minute. But yeah, 0-0 at the break. It's a cagey one thus far. Let's see how it goes in the second half. See you in 15 minutes for the second half. But yeah, we played the standard minimum. Additional time. 48 minutes played. South Africa 0, Canada 0. See you in 15 minutes. Bye-bye.
play with the ball. One drop, one go beyond. Can't create what we want.
There we go, we're back. Right.
Players to any of those tools.
Mate, you can't be there.
Moving on the move over the past few weeks around this World Cup, but of the three co-hosts who all advanced beyond the group stage, which you foresee perhaps as the one who make the deepest in this World Cup this summer.
Well, I mean, it all depends, I think, on the backing of the home crowd. Canada have lost that now. USA have still got it. Mexico have still got it. But down to Mexico City, which will be absolutely crazy, I'm sure. And just use that momentum. We'll probably look at Mexico. We'll see if I'm more happy about that. Canada got stuff to do today. So, yeah, sitting on the fence, Joe.
Mexico, they've got Ecuador. Beyond that, they may well face England at the second with around 16. The USA are the Bay Area.
Yeah, of course, Mexico will take an Ecuador.
Against Bosnia, which will be
Netherlands versus Morocco.